Hi guys, Bret here, and I want to talk about a very cool experience that I got to do recently. I got to jump into an early build of Deathbound by Trialforge Studio. Shout out to Vicarious PR, code provided. I was able to jump into this just before Steam Next Fest and see what it was. Quick synopsis of the game. Deathbound is an action RPG, Souls-like, set in the world of Zyminal. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Where faith and science clash. Absorb the essence of fallen warriors to harness their powers and abilities. Create your personal gameplay style by using a unique party system up to 4 of the absorbed warriors. Conflicts or synergies between the characters will impact gameplay. Survive in a brutal world where life and death were never more conflicted. I have a little experience with Souls-like, diving into, obviously like the Elden Ring and Lies of P, stuff like that, but I never really got super duper far in them. Just wasn't a game that I did personally well in, but always really enjoyed the set pieces and the design of the world that they provided, and I think Deathbound is just, adds to that experience as well. They nailed it right on the head in terms of a world that's really interesting, and I think they did a good job of making players like me who aren't super into this genre feel empowered and not frustrated by the experience. And I think they did a good job of balancing the gameplay that they brought to the table as well as difficulty. It can be difficult at times, but I never felt overwhelmed by anything, and I think it had a really good synergy, as they talk about, with their gameplay and mechanics. Something that they bring to the table as well that I thought was really nice is the team of heroes that you are playing as. So unlike your other Soulsborns where you're playing as the one hero, dealing with their stamina and their attacks against these enemies. What Deathbound does is it allows you to jump between heroes on your party. So you're allowed 4 at a time. At any point, you can jump between hero to hero, which have different abilities, attacks, stuff like that can help you, whether the enemy just calls for it, or if you run low on health on one hero, you can quick swap to another to continue the fight and not have to be in such of a panic as you're playing. And I really thought this was a cool mechanic, especially as you progress in the demo and you get more comfortable with the game mechanics that they're presenting to you. There's times you can swap to the hero at any point, whether you're dodging, whether you're following up an attack. These different sync abilities, I think is what they call them, or rather what they allude to is there's a sync bar at the bottom of the screen that you're probably seeing that allows you to swap if you have that charged up, swap freely to the other heroes. Like I said, whether you're dodging or whether you want to swap during an attack, you can manually choose which heroes you swap to by using a directional input, or you can swap to the hero that has the most stamina and health to kind of help you along your path fighting the enemies or the bosses that you may run into. It seems like there's going to be 7 total heroes as you're going through. With the demo that I was provided, I had 3 unlocked, 3 to start with, and rather unlocked 2 in the demo. I think I saw a 3rd at the very end. So you're constantly, or at least in this, you're brought with new tools that you can kind of play around with and mess with. We got a little bit of a backstory on one of our heroes that we did unlock. The second one did not at this time, granted early build. So I'm interested to see how throughout the game in its entirety, how these heroes will continue to interact with each other and what stories they're telling. Along with the morphing ability in between heroes freely, there's also a little bit of a kind of risk-reward puzzle mechanic, I guess you could call it, between the heroes. So like I said, you can have 4 in your party, but they will have synergy and conflict with each other. You can tell on the screen they'll have a little indicator with a line, whether it's blue or orange, if they have this synergy or conflict in between each other. And what this means, it's not that you can't use the character or you can't swap between, but if the characters have synergy, they'll have certain buffs that they will elevate each other and help each other with their stats. And then if they have conflict, it gives a unique buff, but also can give a debuff. So it's a little bit of an element that you kind of have to mess around with, swap who's on your team, who's next to each other in your layout of 4, or just something to be aware of as you're going into your fights. So in this demo, there was a lot of running around the mesh of worlds that we got going on here with kind of like the medieval setting, but also this futuristic setting was really cool to explore. I'm interested in the story that they were telling. They were telling something about kind of these cults. I believe they have two cults in there. They have the Church of Death and the Cult of Life. Excuse me. Church of Death is the most powerful political organization in Ziminel. As the dominant faith, it persecutes any person or organization that does not follow their creed nor praise Goddess Death. And then you have the Cult of Life, an uneasy alliance of many organizations which tries to resist the oppression of the Death followers. It includes the Essence Mancers, worshippers of the Goddess Life, in their quest to bring immortality back to humankind at all costs. So you'll run into these different factions as you're running through. I think I saw one Cult of Life member. It was like this big monster type thing, and I was just like, nope, don't want to deal with that, and just ran a different direction. Was able to avoid it. But yeah, it just seemed really cool, and I want to explore more of this world and see what the story that they were trying to, I guess, obviously tell with this experience with Deathbound. So yeah, just want to talk about that, show off the gameplay here a little bit for you guys. If you guys want to jump into this game yourself, it is going to be on Steam Next Fest, which is, if you're watching right now, when this drops, it's going to be taking place from February 5th to February 12th. So you can jump in there. I assume it's going to be the same demo. If not, it'll be something very similar. But yeah, this really got its claws into me and really hooked me quickly. So once again, I appreciate Trialforge Studio and Vicarious PR for the code and this opportunity to talk about it. And yeah, thank you guys for your time for checking this out. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys dive into the game, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, until next time, guys, peace out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, listening. I'll see you guys next time.